Good morning everyone. So today we will be discussing about what are the impurities in water. Okay. So in the previous slide I have discussed with you about what are the methods of population forecasting. I have discussed with you about the arithmetical method, geometrical method, incremental method, and simple graphical method, logistic curve method. I have discussed with you all about this. Okay. So next is we'll be discussing about what are the impurities in water. Okay. As we drink water, water is our essential for all of us. Okay. While using water, some of the impurities are present in the water. Okay. So here you can see the images I have shown in the diagram here. This is the water drop, and while we see in the microscope, we can see that is bacteria is present, sodium is present, chlorine is present, some of the viruses are present, dissolved solids are present, industrial waste are present in water. So these are the impurities. There are the impurities present in the water. So while we use this water or we drink this water, this causes diseases or this causes germs, or it affects bad conditions to our health. So we will discuss about what are the impurities in water. Water, which is an essential part of our life, is loaded with impurities as a result of increasing pollution. So it is an essential part of our life, as we know, and water is loaded with impurities as it increases the pollutions. Being a good solvent, water dissolves everything that comes in contact with it. So water is a good solvent. Being a good solvent, water dissolves everything that comes in contact with it. The contaminants pose a lot of health risk which can be a fatal of times. Okay, so it also causes so in water, if some impurities are present, so it causes a health risk which is very harmful for us, for our human beings. Okay. So contaminated water mainly contains different types of elements known as total dissolved solids. That is, dust, rust, clay and sand stay suspended in water and make it contaminated. So these are the impurities. So we can say dust, some mud, clay, algae, fungi. These are the impurities which are present in the water, and it makes contaminated and it makes injurious to our health. So, and also microorganisms and other pathogens are also make water unsafe for use. So we use water unsafe. Okay. So these are the impurities are present in the water. That is microorganisms, pathogens, algae, fungi, and clay, mud, decayed leaves, and dead plants and animals. These all are the impurities that are present in the water. So we have to filtrate it, or we have to remove the impurities that are present in water, because we are using the daily to daily water, na? So that's why we will remove the impurities from the water. Okay. So first, there are three types of impurities. We can say that is suspended impurities, colloidal impurities and dissolved impurities. There are three types of impurities. First is suspended impurities. So in suspended impurities, first, water may contain suspended impurities such as clay, mud, algae, fungi, organic and inorganic materials and industrial waste. Okay. So we can say that in suspended impurities, the water mainly contain, that is, clay, algae, fungi, organic and inorganic materials and mineral waters it contains. Okay. These impurities are dispersion of solid particles that are large enough to be removed by filtration on the surface. Okay. So we can say that in the suspended impurities, that is clay, mud, algae, fungi and some organic and inorganic materials are present, and they can be removed by filtration on the surface. So we can say that these impurities can be removed by filtration on the surface. And also we can say that the suspended particles which have the same specific gravity as that of water. As we know, specific gravity of water is 1. So we can say that the suspended particles which have the same specific gravity as that of water are mixed in water. Okay. So that particles have specific gravity, or that impurities have specific gravity, that is 1, are mixed with water. Okay. So the size of the suspended particles, we can say it as 0 to 10 to the power minus 3 millimeter. Okay. So these impurities also cause turbidity, microscopic in the water, and this causes harmful for our body. Okay, so the size of the suspended impurities are 0 to 10 to the power minus 3 millimeter. Okay, so next we will be studying about colloidal impurities. In the colloidal impurities, the colloidal particles such as crystals, glasses, gels and silica may present in water. So these are the colloidal particles, and these are charged particles. Okay, and these colloidal particles are very small. Okay, so we can say it as it is very finely divided dispersion of particles in water, and these particles are very small so that it cannot be removed by filtration, and these colloidal particles are not visible to our eyes. And as I have written, these are the charged particles, as there are the colloidal particles are crystals, glasses, gels and silica. They are charged particles, and the electric charge is mainly present of absorbed ions, or we can say acquire negative charge in the surface of the solid. Okay, so we can say that the electric charge is mainly present due to the absorbed ions on the surface of the solid. And acid or neutral materials like we can say silica, glass and most of the organic particles acquire negative charge in the water, and positive charge that carry, that is metallic oxide, aluminum oxide, peroxide that contains positively charged. And when these positive and negative charge collide with each other, if they collide with each other, they may cause the particles to repel or they attract with each other. Okay, so due to these repelling actions, the colloidal particles do not settle down, they always remain in motion. As I have told you in the last point, I have written that such impurities never settles down and they remain in motion. So we can say that if the positive or negative charge, that is acid or neutral materials, we take it as negative charges, and aluminum oxide and metallic oxide we take it as a positively charged. If these two charges collide with each other, and they may cause the particles to repel with one another, and due to this repelling, the colloidal particles remain in motion. Okay, and they do not settle. Okay, so we can say that these particles do not settle, they remain in motion, and the size of the colloidal particles is 10 to the power minus 3 millimeter to 10 to the power minus 6 millimeter. The size of the particles is very small, that is 10 to the power minus 3 millimeter to 10 to the power minus 6 millimeter. Okay, so next we will be reading about dissolved impurities. Okay, in dissolved impurities, first is solids, liquids and gases are dissolved in natural waters. As we know, some of our solids, liquids and gases are all present in the natural water. Some impurities are dissolved in water when it moves from rocks and soils. Okay, while moving from rocks or any types of soils, some impurities are dissolved in water. These dissolved impurities may contain organic compounds, inorganic salts and gases. Okay, so as we can say that in dissolved impurities, some impurities are present in the water while it moves from the rocks or soils, and in dissolved impurities, solids, liquids and gases are dissolved in it. Okay, and these dissolved impurities also contain, that is organic compounds, inorganic salts and gases, and this also causes harmful effects or harmful for our body. Okay, so next we will be discussing about harmful effects of impurities. So of suspended impurities, we have read about suspended, colloidal and dissolved impurities. What are the harmful effects of that impurities? Okay, so we will be discussing in the next slide about what are the harmful effects of the impurities. Thank you.